Breaking news. Breaking. Trump finally did it. Let the riots begin. Shocking. Largest American company goes full racist against whites. Watch. Famous artist who painted Obama stepping on the Constitution just released Trump's painting. Spot the difference. The Senate just released the secret hush fund info we've all been waiting for. This is sick. Nikki Haley just blew the doors off the UN. With speech about Obama's incompetence, Trump reveals which Democratic president was also KKK member. Liberals in meltdown mode. Breaking news from California. They locked him up for this Facebook post. Trump hater Meghan Markle spotted screaming at Harry after Queen puts brakes on wedding. Breaking. Disgraced Markle refuses Queen's demand. She's done. Breaking. Hillary is done. Trump's FEC just dropped bombshell. Official news today. News related to American politics. President Donald Trump has sent liberals into complete meltdown mode. He has revealed which former Democratic president was also a member of the Ku Klux Klan, and now, all the race-baiting lefties don't quite know what to do with themselves. On Thursday night, after seeking the counsel of his Chief of Staff General John Kelly, President Donald Trump approved the release of approximately 2,800 long classified documents pertaining to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Over the weekend, Trump released the remaining documents of the notorious JFK files, leaving news outlets from around the globe to furiously comb through the thousands of pages in search of missing pieces in the puzzling death of President Kennedy. Perhaps the biggest bombshell to emerge was from an FBI memo recorded on January 31, 1964. According to that document, a source named Orrin Fenton Potito identified a second shooter, which would suggest that the conspiracy theories which have long purported that Lee Harvey Oswald did not act alone are possibly true. That was not the only jaw-dropping revelation which has been exposed, though. According to another document, Democratic President Lyndon Johnson was a member of the KKK. The document states, Ned Touchstone, editor of the Counselor, has been identified by a confidential informant, No 1223R, as a member of the original Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. The source advised in December, 1963, that Touchstone claimed that the Klan had documented proof that President Johnson was formerly a member of the Klan in Texas during the early days of his political career. It should come as no shock that a Democratic president was a card-carrying member of the Ku Klux Klan. As the Gateway pundit notes, the KKK was founded as the activist wing of the Democratic Party. Democrats in Hood slaughtered hundreds of Republicans and blacks across the country. It was only thanks to Republicans, who passed the Anti-Ku Klux Klan Act on April 20, 1871, that the racially motivated violence was finally put to an end. The Enforcement Act of 1871, 17 Stat 13, also known as the Civil Rights Act of 1871, Force Act of 1871, Ku Klux Klan Act, Third Enforcement Act, or Third Ku Klux Klan Act, is an act of the United States Congress which empowered the President to suspend the writ of habeas corpus to combat the Ku Klux Klan, KKK, and other white supremacy organizations. The act was passed by the 42nd United States Congress and signed into law by President Ulysses S. Grant on April 20, 1871. The act was the last of three enforcement acts passed by the United States Congress from 1870 to 1871 during the Reconstruction era to combat attacks upon the suffrage rights of African Americans. The statute has been subject to only minor changes since then, but has been the subject of voluminous interpretation by courts. Source: Wikipedia. Of course, if the tables were turned and a document had surfaced which contained proof that a Republican president was a member of the KKK, we would never hear the end of it. If that were the case, the media would be all over it like white on rice. However, since this story does not help to perpetuate the narrative that white Republican men are racist, there's a slim chance you'll see it reported by the mainstream media. Please share this information since we cannot count on the press to do its job.